All right, well, hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to my workshop today. My name is Rithika Kapu, and today I'll be presenting my workshop, Advocacy, Action, and Altruism, the Power of Leading Through Service. So for the goals of today's workshops, I really just want to make sure that you leave this workshop learning something new, and really taking some knowledge back to your local key clubs so you can take your service to the next level. And I specifically want to accomplish this through two main goals. So the first is to inspire you all to take action through some of my own experiences. Today I'll be sharing a lot of stories and personal anecdotes about my experiences serving in Key Club and in my community in general. And I also want to provide you all with a step-by-step guide to executing service projects, almost like a foolproof guide. So you guys just have something to fall back on when you're planning service projects for your local Key Clubs. So just so you all can learn a little bit more about me, currently a junior at Green Hope High School, and I'm from the Carolinas district, specifically North Carolina. I'm entering my third year in Key Club, and for the past couple years, I've had an amazing time getting involved with Key Club. In the past, I've served as my chapter's freshman class representative. I've also served as a sophomore class representative, and for this past year, I've again had an amazing time with like the new experience of serving as a lieutenant governor. And I've been able to meet so many new people and have amazing experiences because of this opportunity. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a really big chocolate enthusiast. I really wanted to talk to you first about some of like the personal experiences that I've had with service. And I wanted to talk to you about kind of where my passion for service started and how it all began, really before Key Club as well. So I first got started with service and volunteering when I was in the seventh grade. And I got started kind of for like an unconventional reason, I guess you could say. But I got started because I saw that there was a problem occurring in my community that no one had really quite addressed yet. Um, so just to kind of like set the scene, right? I grew up and I went to elementary and middle school in a relatively low income and underprivileged part of my school district. And as a result, I was exposed to numerous social inequities and a lot of different social issues in my county. One of the biggest ones being hunger and food insecurity. So because of that, I really wanted to do something about it. And I started really small with a small group of people. You can see in the picture in this slide, I just started with a couple of friends, but we were able to grow our team of people who are volunteering and giving back to over 40 people as we progressed throughout the school year. So I'm really grateful that we were able to grow our team to include so many different people who are passionate about giving back, specifically to those who were facing hunger and problems with food insecurity. And specifically, just to kind of like describe the extent of this problem, um, and like a reason why I was really invested in getting involved in food insecurity to start with. In my school, at least in my middle school, our school would do a program where basically they would give plastic bags full of food to those to students who wouldn't have enough to eat over the weekends. And I found that this was just very it was first of all a very disorganized process, and also it seemed that there were like students weren't being respected and they were just given like bags of food, if that makes sense. So through the efforts of my organization called Carnage Cares, me and all of the students that were working on this project, we were able to set up a food pantry at my middle school, and in doing so we were able to give back to those students, and we're really grateful we were able to make that tangible impact. So some of the other projects that Carnage Cares was able to start up includes various food drives over the span of the school year. So along with running a food drive for the holiday season, we also ran a food drive for Thanksgiving, as well as one towards the end of the school year, in order to replenish our food pantry when people wouldn't be there over the summer. We also ran a fundraiser for those facing food insecurity in Ukraine at the height of the war against Russia with Russia and Ukraine. And we also started a service project in partnership with our local Costco. So I think like a lot of my like foundational experiences and time getting involved with service and leadership in middle school really set me up to also get more involved in my high school years. So currently, my involvement in in the community includes the fact that I own a local small business called the Cakewalk Cupcakery. And through my small business, I try to give back to the community as much as possible. So for every single cupcake or sweet treat that I sell, I try to give back either cupcakes or a certain amount of my profits to charitable organizations in my area. So currently, I'm working with the Interfaith Food Shuttle, which is a very big food bank in my area. So um, it's great to not only be contributing to the community through my baking, but I also love giving back through helping fight against food insecurity. Another key area that I'm involved in is through empowering girls through a club called Empower Her. And through this organization that I helped start up with a couple of friends, I empower girls globally to pursue careers and to become prepared for 21st century careers in business and STEM. And of course, as I talked about quite a bit before, I've had the opportunity of getting involved with Key Club through numerous leadership roles, as well as participating in numerous community service events. So, this is like the big question that I really want to address for today's workshop, which is how are leadership and volunteering connected? And I really want to explore this more. So, I think the first major aspect that really overlaps between leadership and volunteering would definitely have to be initiative. And this is because when you're volunteering or starting a service project, more times than not, you're usually like the first person to do something. And you really need to have the initiative and determination to take action on an issue because, like, most of the time, no one is telling you all the steps that you need to execute in order to successfully run a service project. So, you really need to have that drive and determination to get that done. And I think the second major area that overlaps in both leadership and volunteering would definitely have to be communication. So, when you're executing a service project, you really need to know how to get your point across. And communicating efficiently and effectively with others is really important, especially if you want to spread the word about your service project or convince others to join your cause. So, being able to communicate is really important. And finally, another big area that I think that overlaps between both of these areas would definitely have to be organization. So as a leader, it's really important that you're organized so that not only to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed, but so that everyone around you and the people that you're working with, they know what they need to do and specifically like how everything needs to run on the day of the actual service event. So, in essence, to answer like our big question from before, I think we can very clearly see the connection now, which is that volunteering helps you demonstrate and hone your leadership skills. So next, we're going to be moving into the second part of our service project for today, which is how you can create impactful service projects. And I really want to give you all actionable steps that you can take to make implementing service projects as easy as possible and as fun as possible as well. So for the rest of this presentation, we're going to use a metaphor of treating your journey of executing a service project like a roadmap. So just like a car needs a map to drive in the right direction, you need a plan to guide your service projects to success. And I really hope that I can help you all develop your service plans today. So the first step in executing a successful service project is to brainstorm problems that your community faces. A great way to do this is by interviewing community members and thinking of struggles that you yourself have faced, or even doing a quick search online. And I think volunteering is another great way for you all to become more aware of the problems that your community faces. And this is something that I did when I was first getting started in my like service and volunteering journey as well. I volunteered with numerous food banks and charitable organizations prior to starting a club and an initiative at my local middle school. So I really knew that this was a really big problem. And because of this initial experience, I was able to kind of start brainstorming ways I could tackle this problem. So I also wanted to get some of your guys' input. So if we could have a couple volunteers just pitch out a couple ideas and answer this question right here. So, are there any problems that you all have seen or experienced in your community that you think you'd be interested in starting a service project on? And again, you can unmute your mic or type it in the chat, whatever works better. Yes, Andrea?
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea, and I'm a lieutenant governor based in Miami, Florida. And something I've realized is that, especially because Miami is so diverse and we have a lot of immigration, for example, there's a large disparity between like immigrant families towards like newly come families in terms of like food security and things like that. So I know my key club and my school, at least, like we'll do a lot of partnership with a local elementary school that's mostly Hispanic in a low income area, and we'll do like food drives. Recently we did like a Halloween candy drive because we knew, like, not just from surveys but from the experience in the area, that that's like not a trick-or-treating neighborhood, for example. So we did those because we know that's like the only candy that those children will get. So I guess that's a way that we kind of like identified what was needed.
Awesome. I love that. And I think like the fact that you all were able to like take it a step further with like your like trick-or-treating sort of idea, I think that's really amazing. So thank you for sharing. Do we have any? Yes, Olivia?
Good morning. I'm from the Louisiana district, and I've noticed within my school that definitely the teachers are underappreciated. Appreciated anyway. And our Key Club, we serve the teachers often, but the students don't appreciate them. And so I think a good idea for our club would necessarily be to like start teacher breakfasts or just something to make them feel seen and feel like they have a spot at the school.
Thank you so much. And I think teacher appreciation is a really important idea. And yeah, we definitely need to treat our teachers better and appreciate them. So thank you for that.
Hello, I am Dakota Menning, a lieutenant governor from the Moark area. I'm from District 1 as well. We have underappreciated teachers at our school. And what we did is we are doing random days of kindness, where we'll take around stuff that we know is the teacher's like favorite snack or drink, and we'll bring it to all of the teachers that we feel are underappreciated in our school and several others.
Thank you. Kevin?
Hello, my name is Kevin Hidalgo. I am an international trustee from the New York district. One thing my Key Club has done is we have a local soup kitchen where a lot of us volunteer at, and the local soup kitchen gives out bags of lunch with soup and Doritos and drinks and just something to uh, allow people to kind of have those snacks and get through the day feeling full. And what our club did was we got a lot of food donations and we filled those bags ourselves so we could give it to the soup kitchen so that they could hand it out because they already had a lot of other things that they did, like make breakfast and things like that. So we saw that they were kind of overrun with so many responsibilities and we wanted to help out on just one small part of the process that means a lot for the people who come.
That sounds awesome. I think we actually, my Key Club ran something similar as well. So we ran a partnership and a program in partnership with Backpack Buddies, and we distributed. I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that? I think your mic has a little bit of feedback. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Rithika, you can move on.
Okay. But yeah, thank you for all of your ideas. So to move on to our next step in our process of executing a successful service project, the next step is to just set realistic goals and to set kind of like actionable checkpoints so you all can kind of like keep yourselves accountable. And again, like breaking your goals down is really important so you're not like overwhelming yourselves. So for step number three, I would highly suggest that you all create a team of like-minded people, like-minded and passionate people who are truly invested in the cause that you're trying to make a difference in. So I know that a lot of you are probably Key Club members or interested in joining Key Club at the very least. And you all have access to an amazing group of people in your Key Clubs who are passionate about giving back to others. So really utilizing that and working with these people who are already like invested in giving back to their community is a great first step in forming your team. But even if you wanted to move beyond just working with your key clubs, you could definitely start like a club at your school if you wanted to focus on like a more niche goal, and branching out and just working with people throughout your school or even young people in just like other schools across your county or even your city or state is a great way to form a bigger team and have a larger impact. So for step number four, this kind of piggybacks off the previous idea of forming a team, but it's also a great idea to reach out to local organizations and nonprofits in your areas who might be tackling similar issues that you are trying to get involved in. So specifically for me, right, like I saw that food insecurity was a really big issue in my community, and because of this, I reached out to a lot of local food banks to get some mentoring and ideas on how we as students can make actionable change. And I think this was a great idea because along with getting a lot of like mentoring and just tips and tricks on how I can better implement service projects, I was also able to, in a way, gain some credibility for projects, which is really important in order to get more people invested and get more people involved in your cause. So step number five is to advertise your service projects. And this is really, really important because you could have like the best service project in the world, but if you're unable to clearly communicate and get the word out into the public about your service project, you might not have as much engagement as you hoped. So some ways that I would suggest that you go about advertising, first of all, include social media. I think that's a really powerful tool in today's day and age. So using social platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok is a really great way to get the word out there about your service projects. Hanging up posters around your community or school is another great way. And finally, I think just word of mouth is just another great way, just talking to people that you know, your friends and family, and spreading the word about your service project is another great way to get the word out there. Okay, and then the final step is to obviously execute your service project. So after you've put in the weeks and months of effort and planning into creating your service project, it's just important that you like take a deep breath because you've prepared so much, like you've got this. But make sure you just have a organized plan of action for the day, for the actual day of implementing the service project. And make sure just to like, I guess like smooth out any last minute things. Maybe have a meeting with your team right before you're going to implement your service project on the actual day so that everyone is just aware of like their role, what they're supposed to get done, so there's no like last minute confusion. Well, that's all the steps to executing your successful service project, and congratulations, you all made it. You should be very proud of yourselves. And that would be it for the end of this workshop. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. And if you all have any questions, please feel free to ask, or definitely reach out later if anything comes up after this presentation as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rithika. Does anybody have any questions for her?
Yes, I think we have one question.
Hi, my name is Naji Fleming, and I just wanted to ask, like, how do you personally deal with stress and like worrying about all the things that you have to do? Because I would like to like be more involved in my key club, but I worry about how I will be able to handle all the responsibilities. So I was just wondering how you do that.
I think that's a great question because like I again like as high schoolers we have so many things going on so it's really easy to like get overwhelmed and stressed with like schoolwork, key club and just all the responsibilities we have, right? So I think for me specifically there are definitely times I do get overwhelmed, but for me I just try to focus on things that I'm truly invested and passionate about. So going back to like some of the things that I'm involved with in my community, whether that's like food insecurity or Empower Her. Those are causes that I'm like truly invested in and really passionate about. So um, I think that definitely makes it less stressful in a way. So choosing causes that you know that you're okay with investing your time into and spending a lot of time working on. I think that's really important. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Of course. Mai?
Hi, my name is Mai Win. I'm the Division 4A Lieutenant Governor with the Llamas 10 District. I'm currently planning on doing like a water walk with the Thirst Project since that is our governor's project this year. And one thing that I struggle with a lot is like trying to find sponsors who will actually donate the money for the Thirst Project. So I was like wondering like if you have any way that like to like help me get those sponsors. Like I don't know how to like go up to like the organizations and just be like, "Hey," like
I completely get what you mean. And like I would definitely face like the same struggles with some of like my past fundraising efforts. So I think like the best way is honestly just like outreach and like you're if you reach out to a lot of people, there's probably going to be some people that reply back. So I think it's more about like the quantity of people that you reach out to. So reaching out to as many people as possible definitely increases the chance of getting a response back,
Okay, thank you.
of course. And yes,
Um, Sorry, I was just gonna say, Maya, who just asked about that, I know of some grants and other things you can apply for through organizations. If you want me to list some out, if you want to write them down, you could for money if you'd like.
That would be really great. Thank you.
So there's the MFA Oil Foundation grant that you can get. We recently got it for our club for about $2,500. There's a grant you can get through organization that works closely with Key Club that is up to $500 for service projects specifically. And those are just the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head. But if I find any more, I'll try and let you know later on in the meeting.
Dakota, if you're referencing the Youth Opportunities Fund, it is a really great resource. Just to remind you, though, none of those funds that a club can win go directly into a fundraising goal. So those have to be used for a specific service project. We have around 3 more minutes, so please feel free to try to get your last questions in. But by 11:50, I think that we should probably be heading back to the main room. But please, for these last 3 minutes, please feel free to keep asking questions.
Philip?
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm from Italy. I'm an advisor, and I'm here with an Italian student of mine who just wants to thank you for your presentation. Just 10 seconds. Jacopo.
Uh, Hello, I'm Jacopo from Italy. I'm listening you from Sicily. It's a beautiful presentation.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
You're very, very good. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.